You've written some songs and you want to start recording at home, but you're not sure where to start. Here are 6 must-haves to get started. Hi, I'm Trevor Dimoff. I transform musicians into songwriters at epicsongwriting.com. Watch the video all the way through and then click the link description for a written summary and a gear list. Don't forget to subscribe so you hear when more of these videos come out. You've written some songs and you want to get into some home recording, but you're not sure where to start. Here are 6 must-haves to get started in home recording. Number 1, you need a computer. Number 2, you need a DAW, piece of software, a digital audio workstation. Number 3, you'll need an audio interface. Number 4, you need microphones. Number 5, you need headphones, or as a bonus, some studio monitors. And number 6, you need a space to record. That's the summary. Now let's get into some details. Number 1, you're going to need a computer. Commercial grade laptop is fine. If you have a desktop, you can use that too. Don't think you're going to get very far with an iPad or a tablet. There just isn't enough computing power. Audio and video editing takes a lot of computer power, and you're not going to get very far with an iPad or a tablet. You'll need as much RAM as you can get on board your computer. You're also looking for the fastest CPU you can get. So if you are looking to buy one, look at CPU speed, and also look at the amount of RAM you can get on there. Another bonus is a good large hard drive, and if possible, get an SSD, a solid state hard drive. They work faster, so when you're rendering your audio later on, it's much easier to get everything done. Number 2, you need a piece of software called a DAW, Digital Audio Workstation. There are dozens of really good ones out there, ranging from free to I can't believe how much that costs. You can get great results from a relatively inexpensive DAW. I'll get into more detail in another video because it's a really big topic. Number 3, you're going to need an audio interface. Now there's different kinds, there's many different companies. At the entry level, which is about $100, you can get virtually any company will sound very similar. They're all good. You don't have to worry about one brand over another. There are a couple things to keep in mind that I'll get to. So let's talk some details about audio interfaces. The first is a 2-input cakewalk. We've got 2 inputs on the front. These wacky little inputs are designed to handle they're designed to handle either XLR or a guitar input with a hard switch to change them back and forth. So that's why they look a little different than you're used to. Other features on this unit, 24-bit, the higher bit is better. 16 is standard for CD, but 24 is a better sound if you can get it. Not a deal breaker. This one also has independent output and volumes for the headphones with direct monitor. Direct monitor means as you're listening, you can listen to it in real time without any delay or latency. Latency happens when the signal goes through the processors in the unit to the digital audio workstation in your computer and back again. So sometimes that delay can be long enough that it'll drive you crazy. Direct monitor is an awesome thing. It's on most, but just double check that you have that one as well. We also have my 8-input Scarlett. So this has 2 inputs on the front, exactly the same as our double input in the other unit. There's also 6 more inputs on the back. Independent gain for all of them. This one has a VU meter so you can see your input levels and just double check that you're not maxing out. The smaller unit has that, but only in software. This one also has 2 headphone outputs so you can listen to 2 independently, different volumes. The other big difference with this, besides the rack mount, is this is AC powered. You need a plug. The smaller unit runs on a USB. And so here's the back view. So our 2 input also has only 2 outputs. There's stereo output to speakers, and you can also use an RCA jack, and there's MIDI in and out. The sample rate changes with a hard switch here. Pro tip, you have to unplug the unit, switch it, and then turn it back on. And down here on the Scarlett, get out of the way, also have a USB output, MIDI in and out, a whole lot more outputs, as well as some inputs. So this one is designed that if it's in a rack, you want to make sure you don't need to access these. That's why there's the 2 bonus inputs at the front. So as I mentioned, this one has AC out. This one runs off the USB power. So if you're using only batteries, it will suck up juice on your batteries and computer batteries really quickly. But if you've got an AC plug-in, you're good to go. The other main difference, this is great portable, drop it in a backpack. This one, not so much. They're both great units. The biggest difference is the number of inputs and outputs. That affects the price point. Other bonus on both of these, definitely a plus if you can get MIDI in and out. Great if you're going to be recording a MIDI piano. Next, microphones. These are your computer's ears. They connect to your audio interface. The audio interface converts that analog data and that signal level to something the computer can manage. Let's have the microphone talk. There's two main kinds to be thinking about. One is a dynamic. That's these two. They don't need phantom power. They're great live. They don't pick up. They're not quite as sensitive. So if you're in a noisy environment like a live stage or a noisy home recording studio, these are great. If that's all you have kicking around, start with them. As soon as you're able, you're going to want to upgrade to a condenser microphone. A large diaphragm and a small diaphragm. These are great for instruments. Get a matched pair if you can, and you can use them for stereo miking your guitar or a live room. You'll also need a shock mount. Usually that'll come with. So that cancels out any vibrations through the boom stand. You'll also need a boom stand. Large diaphragm is great for vocals. Small diaphragm is better for instruments. I tried recording my saxophone with this one time. Impossible. There was so much air coming at the capsule that it was overloading the signal. It didn't matter how much I tried to turn down the gain. So microphone, you'll need a mount. Often it'll come with the microphone, so make sure that it attaches properly and safely. You'll need a XLR cable. You're looking for the 3-pronger. Like this. Microphones with XLR is what you're looking for. So you need an XLR cable to connect the microphone to your audio interface. Pop shield, amazing invention. The pop shield breaks the airstream. So if you any sort of loud percussive sound, it will minimize that a little bit, take some of the air out, and any air blasting straight at the microphone capsule that would otherwise overload it gets diffused so that you don't overload your signal. A huge time saver, and it will help you record better vocals. So pop shield, boom stand, mount with your microphone. Usually it'll come with the microphone, and XLR cable to connect the microphone to your audio workstation. Next, you need a way for your computer to get the sounds to you. You need to start with headphones, closed back or open back. Open back are great for mixing and mastering because they're a little more comfortable. The problem is sound comes out of them, so you can wind up recording what you're hearing as you're recording. It's called sound bleed, and what happens is these headphones are loud enough that the mic can pick it up and you get a dirty signal. Closed back work much better. So for recording, you need to start with closed back. If you can upgrade later on, get into some open backs that are more comfortable, that sound great, all good. There are dozens of varieties out there. Anything costing about $100 is probably going to work fine for you. Just make sure they're closed back. And finally, you need a place to put all your gear. Ideally, it should be a quiet room so you don't have sound coming in that's going to be picked up in your microphones. And you don't want to be inflicting sounds on your family or roommates, especially if you try recording late at night. So you want a room that's as quiet as possible. It's great to have a big room, but most people are working out of a basement or an extra room in the house. These are not spaces that are great for recording. There's a variety of reasons, a long, complicated list. The short version is there are ways that we can dampen the sound, either with carpet, with acoustic panels that you can make yourself or you can buy, sound diffusers, bass traps. There are ways to solve this problem. On real cheap, get yourself some carpet in there, some furniture to break up the sound waves, and you can still get a decent recording in a very, very, very simple setup. To summarize, the 6 must-haves you need for home studio recording. Number 1, a computer. The best that you can get your hands on for now is fine. Number 2, you'll need a digital audio workstation. There are a variety of them, and there'll be a video coming up with more details. Number 3, an audio interface. Get the number of inputs you need for now. Almost any brand starting at about $100 will be fine as a starting point. Number 4, you'll need at least one microphone, a dynamic or condenser. Depending on your budget, you're looking at about $100 to $300 for an entry-level mic that will work great for you. You'll also need yourself headphones, about $100, give or take a little bit. If you've got something else that's not earbuds, you can start there. And finally, you'll need a place to set up all your gear. Ideally, a place where you don't have to set it up and take it down every single time. If you can leave your gear up, it's way easier to hop in and get started right away. Thanks for watching all the way through. I'm Trevor Dimoff. I transform musicians into songwriters and recording engineers at epicsongwriting.com. Thanks for watching. Click the link description for a written summary and some gear ideas. And don't forget to subscribe so you catch the next videos I drop. Thanks for watching. Go record something.